Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to today's video. Today, in this video, I'm going to discuss about a simple question that most of the people ask from Buddhist monks. And the question is very simple. It is, what is Buddhism? It seems to be a simple question, but it is very complicated when you're trying to give an answer for this question. So let's try to find an answer for this question today. So many people ask that, is Buddhism a religion? Or is it a philosophy? Or is it a way of life? Now, first of all, what is your opinion about this? Is it a religion? Do you feel it is like a religion? Do you feel it is like a philosophy? Or it is like more like a way of life? What do you think about it? Well, this is the thing. If I can give a simple answer for Buddhism, what Buddhism is, this is the answer. Buddhism is a profound teaching and a deep teaching that it is very difficult to put it into one basket, one category, saying this is a religion, this is a philosophy, this is a way of life. Why? Because let's say when you visit a Buddhist temple, if you had the chance to visit the Buddhist temple, you will see Buddha statues. People come and worship to the Buddha statues. They offer flowers and they offer so many offerings to the Buddha statues, and they worship and they do all sort of things. When you see that, you may start to think, oh, this is a religion, okay? In the same time, if you dive into the Buddhist teachings, core Buddhist teachings, and if you read some suttas, what will happen? You will come to an understanding that these teachings, what the Buddha has taught, is so profound and it is more philosophical. It dives into the deep topics in life, like existence and life and impermanence, a lot of things like that. Okay? Then you may start to think, well, Buddhism is more philosophical. And in the other way, if you try to practice Buddhism, right? If you try to practice Buddhism by practicing virtues and practicing meditation, it becomes more of a way of life. Okay? So what exactly is Buddhism? How can we understand? Well, the one answer that I can give when you sum up all the Buddhist teachings, okay, the one answer that I can give is Buddhism is all about Four Noble Truths. The Buddha said, dukkha is the first noble truth. Life is based upon unsatisfactoriness. Okay? Then the samudaya is the second noble truth, and that is the unsatisfactoriness is based on, it origins because of the craving and the desires in our life. Okay? And the third is the nirodha. If you let go of the craving and the desires in your life, you will end up the unsatisfactoriness. And finally, the fourth noble truth is the magga, the path that leads to letting go of this unsatisfactoriness. Okay? Removing that unsatisfactoriness. And that is the noble eightfold path. So this Four Noble Truth is all about Buddha's teachings. Okay? But when you see the Buddhist traditions and Buddhist rituals, you will see people are worshipping. Then it has a part of religion, okay? People worship, but it is not in the way of a religion that people think it is a religion. Because the definition of the word religion is constant worshipping and believing into a supernatural and superhuman being or a god. In that sense, Buddhism is not a religion. It has more philosophical aspects, but it is not just a study of these concepts. You cannot just stop from studying about the impermanence and the existence and everything just as a study. You have to dive into these studies and you have to practice it. It runs beyond the studying. It goes to the practice, and you have to realize by yourself, through yourself, what the reality is. That is what Buddhism is. Okay? So if I said that what Buddhism is, the Buddhism is all about the Four Noble Truths. So that is the answer that I can give to a person who is asking this question, what is Buddhism? It is about the Four Noble Truths and the reality of this world. So keep this in your mind. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. Do you know how amazing your mind can serve for you if you know how to control and master your thoughts? And that is why they say that mind is the best servant if you know how to master your thoughts, right? But if you let your mind to become your master, you will end up nothing but as a slave of it. So how can we control our mind? How can we deal with these negative thoughts? Now, so many people think that they can remove a negative thought and plant a positive thought inside it. But in reality, you will never be able to remove a thought from your mind by force, right? Go ahead and do it, right? You will never be able to do that. The more you try, the more you use the force to remove a thought or forget it, the more it will come back to you and haunt you. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a simple and a practical way to use the energy of that negative thought to drive it into a more positive state of our mind by simply asking these 5 questions from yourself, right? These questions will help you to come into this present moment, and it will encourage you to cultivate more wholesome qualities and wholesome thoughts inside your mind, okay? But before starting, I have to remember none of these practices and none of these things are easy. But with the time, if you keep on practicing it, right? If you stick into the process and if you keep on doing it, it will be very easy for you to do that, okay? And once you become used to it, and once you get used to that, it is very easy to deal with negative thoughts in your mind, and it is very easy to control your mind. So let's dive in. The first question that you have to ask from yourself is, what are the thoughts that keep me away from peace? What are the thoughts that steal my peacefulness inside me? When you ask this question from yourself, you can go through the weaknesses of yourself, right? Because the weaknesses are different from one person to another. For someone, the thought that steals their peacefulness is the anger. For another person, it is the jealousy. For another person, it is the procrastination or the laziness, okay? So when you ask from yourself, what makes me disturbed, okay? What steals my peacefulness? Then you will have a good understanding about what are the weaknesses inside you. Once you realize what are the weaknesses inside you, okay, what thought pattern steals your peacefulness, then it is very easy for you to deal with that negative state of your mind, okay? So ask from yourself, what steals my peacefulness? And have a good understanding about it. The second question that you can ask from yourself is, what am I thinking right now? This is one of the best questions that you can ask from yourself to bring your mind to this current and present moment, okay? To have a good understanding about the current situation of your mind. Because most of the time, our mind lives in either it is in past or it is in the future. It is hardly our mind lives in this present moment. So once you ask this question, what am I thinking now? Ask this question as much as possible from yourself. What am I thinking now? What am I doing now? When you ask from yourself that, it comes, your awareness comes into this present moment. Okay, because most of the time our awareness travels from one arena to another. Maybe it is in the past, maybe it is in the future. It hardly comes to this present moment. Once you come into this present moment, it is very easy for you to solve the problem because you know what is going inside. Okay, when you ask from yourself that question, you can come up with so many answers. Okay, ask it from yourself and you will come up with these answers like, my mind is in anger now, right? I'm at stress now. I'm in a problem. I'm thinking about something. I'm worrying about something. Okay, once you identify that, right? Once you catch your thought, it is very easy to deal with it. Now you came to this present moment and you identify the thought. Now you have to ask the third question. The third question is this thought pattern helpful for me? Right? When you ask this question from yourself, you dive into that problem and you started to think the downside of that negative state. For an example, if you're in anger, if you ask from yourself, is this anger really gonna help me? Is it going to help me? Then you will come up with the answer, no, it is not going to help me. It only hurts me and the other person, right? It will lead to many problems. When you ask that question from yourself, it gives you the chance to think about the disadvantages and the downside of your thought patterns. The more you realize the disadvantages of your thought patterns, it is very easy to stay out of it because you know that it is going to hurt. Because most of the time, we do things and we think without realizing and without thinking about the disadvantages of it. And that is why it is the best thing to ask from yourself that, is it really going to help me? Now you identified your state of your mind. Now you came to this present moment. Now you know that it is not going to help you. As the next question, now you can ask from yourself, what is the best thing to do instead of staying in this negative state, right? For an example, if you're in anger, ask from yourself, what is the best thing to do instead of staying in anger? Now, what should I do now? Then you will come up with the answer that I should forgive people. I should let go of this anger. If I need to be at peace, right? If I need to find the peacefulness inside my mind, then I need to let go of this anger. Okay? I need to remove it. Now you come up with a solution. Now the best part is, the most amazing thing is, every one of us know what is good and bad. We know what to do and what not to do. Okay? Now for an example, let's say, now we know that too much sugar is bad for our health. But what we do, when we are going to make a teacup, we just pour some extra sugar into it. We put some extra sugar into it. We know it is bad, right? Without considering about it is bad, we do it. And that is why the correct thing that you can do is think about, what is the best thing that I can do now, right? Is it to forgive that people? Is it to let go of that jealousness? Is it to let go of that laziness and continue to work, right? When you think about that, you come up with a solution from yourself, okay? You find the solution through yourself. So ask this question from yourself, then what is the best thing that I can do to stay away from this negative state of my mind? Now you came up with a solution for your problem. Now what you have to do is to think about the benefits of cultivating this positive state of your mind. Okay? Try to think about the benefits of forgiving. Try to think about the benefits of staying away from jealousness. Try to think about the staying away from laziness and getting to work. Okay? Once you do that, you will come up with the benefits of it. You will find the reward of it. The more you see the benefits of something, the more you will tend to be in that state. Okay? Because you know that you're going to get something good into your life. So try to ask from yourself, what are the benefits that I'm going to get by cultivating these wholesome thoughts? That is the fourth one. So now you ask all the questions from yourself, right? Now you know what to do and you know the benefits of it, right? Now there's only one thing that you have to do, and that is to take action. Go ahead and do it, right? Do the wholesome things and cultivate more wholesome qualities to your mind. But remember, none of these things are easy to our life, okay? It is very difficult. We have to try hard. We will fail when we are doing these things. But one thing that we have to do is we have to keep on doing it, whether we fail or not. Okay, once you do it continuously, okay, once you maintain that consistency, you will be good at it and it will be a part of your life, right? So that is how we deal with our mind. That is how we deal with the negative states of mind. So practice this and see it will work for you. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. Do you know why we need to be so serious and we need to be wise when we choose friends? Now, the reason is the friends and the people who we choose to associate can shape our character. They can affect in many ways in our life. Okay, so that is why we need to be very serious and very wise when we let people into our life. Okay, because there's a saying that goes like this: you become who you choose to associate with. Okay, you become like the people around your surrounding with. So that is why we need to find a true friend and good friends to associate. But the thing is, it is very hard to find a true friend. Okay? How can we find a true friend? What are the signs? Well, the Buddha taught there are 7 signs of a true friend. Buddha taught this in a sutta named Mitta Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya, Book of 7. The Buddha says there are 7 signs of a true friend. The first sign is, the Buddha says, he gives what is hard to give. What do you mean by that? Giving what is hard to give is not about material gifts, okay? It is not about giving the gifts and the presents that you like, okay? A true friend will give you his time, his or her time, the valuable thing, the most valuable thing in our life, the time, the dedication, listening, helping hand, and care and kindness. These are the most valuable things, and these are the most hardest thing that people find to give to other people. Okay, so a true friend will never be shy or never think twice to dedicate his time and his effort and his dedication towards your success. Okay, so the Buddha says the first sign of a true friend is he gives what is hard to give. The second sign is, the Buddha says, he does what is hard to do. Now, what do you mean by that? It means a true friend will always step out of his comfort zone to help you. Okay, he will do what he finds hard to do for your own benefit. Okay, that is all about dedication. That is all about sacrifice. Okay, a true friend will always be there for you, no matter how hard he or she finds it. Okay, so a true friend will do what is hard to do. The third sign is, the Buddha says, he endures what is hard to endure. Okay, no matter how hard his life become, or no matter how hard her lives become, they will endure all the difficulties and tough times, and they will be there for you. Okay, they will stand with you, and they will face those tough times together. Okay, so these are all things about dedication of a true friend. Okay, purely, they are pure in their heart, and they are always willing to help you. So this is all about dedication and sacrifice. So that is why the Buddha said, a true friend will endure what is hard to endure. The fourth sign is, I'd like to put fourth sign and the fifth sign together because it is all about the trust. The Buddha says, a true friend will protect your secrets. He will never reveal your secrets to anyone. And also, a true friend will reveal his secrets or her secrets to you. That means a true friend is trustworthy. You can trust him or her, and they will trust you also. So a true friend is a friend who is trustworthy. And the next sign is, the Buddha says, a true friend is a friend who stands with you when you face tough times in your life. Okay, when you hit misfortune, when the life strikes you with misfortune, and when you hit the rock bottom in your life, a true friend will never abandon you. He or she will be there with you always, facing the tough times together. Okay, lending their helping hand, caring for you, and showing their kindness. Now, this is one of the best tests to find that your friend is a true friend or not. Okay, because there are so many people who claim them to be the friends, but when we hit the misfortune, when we have troubles in our life, they're gone. Okay, so a true friend will be there for you, be there with you no matter what happens in your life, even in your good days and even in your bad days. They will be there with you. And the final sign is, the Buddha says, when you hit misfortune and when you have tough times in your life, a true friend will never look down on you. Okay, they will never disgrace you, they will never disrespect you. Okay, they will always protect your personality. Okay, they have the respect in their heart for you, and also they will be honest with you always. Okay, one of the best signs of a true friend is they will become honest. Okay, they will say what is wrong as wrong, and they will say what is right as right. Okay, even though the truth will hurt you. Okay, so they're not that people who are like cheering you up always, right? Trying to keep you happy all the time and saying what is bad as good and good as bad. Okay, so remember, a true friend will never look down on you and they will be honest with you. So these are the signs of a true friend. Okay, now after learning all these signs, then you will come up with this thought that, well, it is very hard to find a true friend. It is very difficult to find a true friend. You can tell me like, oh, it is very easy for you to say that these are the signs of a true friend, but it is difficult to find. I know, right? People with these characteristics and people with these signs are very rare. That is what makes them exceptional. That is what makes them so much interesting. And that is what makes them a true friend. Okay? Right, let's say you cannot find such a friend around you. Okay, maybe you cannot find. Okay, there are some instances like that. So what can you do? Well, there's one thing that you can do, and that is to build up these 7 qualities within yourself and become a true friend to people around you. Okay, once you create those qualities within you, you create a potential for another true friend to be attracted to you. Okay, because that is the nature of this world. Okay, the nature of this world is the birds of feather flock together. That means same things get together. People with same qualities, they get together. Okay, so one thing that you can do is, if you did not find a true friend, be a true friend to people. Okay, so learn these signs and identify who is a true friend is and be with them. Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. Do you know how can we stop a war? Now, as there are a lot of wars going on this earth today, people get killed, people get abused, people get murdered, a lot of chaos happening on this earth. How can we stop a war? There is only one way to stop a war, and that is to forgive and letting go. Okay? There's no any other way. So many people try to stop a war, sometimes stop the problems and the anger, remove the anger by the anger. There's a nice verse and a wonderful verse that was taught by the Buddha. The Buddha said, Nahi vere na verani, sammanti the kudachana. The anger is never appeased by anger. You cannot stop anger through anger. Avere na cha sammanti esa dhammo sanattano. If you need to stop anger, if you need to stop hatred, if you need to stop a war, you need to stop the anger. You need to forgive and you need to let go. You know, the anger and the hate works like a cycle. Now, let's say one country is trying to dominate over another country. Okay? One country is trying to attack another country. What will happen? People in this country, they go to this country and they kill people. They attack people. They abuse people. And once they do that, what will happen? The hate and the anger builds in this community. Okay, so how they can remove their anger, how they try to take the revenge, they get into a group where they can revenge. So what they do is they get into an army, maybe a group of people who try to invade the other country, and they join to that army to take the revenge, and they go to this country and they kill these people in here, and they get killed, they get abused. Okay, and what happens? Then the hate is building up in this world, this country. this community. And what happens after that? These people who left behind, they get to a group of people who try to invade this country again, and they try to invade this country again, try to kill these people again. So this works like a cycle, and you will never be able to get out from that cycle if you did not choose to forgive. Okay? People think that you can end a war through a war, but it is not working in that way. You may be suppressing a war. Okay, you may be suppressing a country. Okay, you can keep a country under control and suppress those people for a little bit of time, maybe 10 years or 15 years. After 10 or 15 years, again, people who needs to take revenge, people who had that inner hate within them, they will come and they will attack the other country too. Okay, look at the history. Just study his history. Not a single country has ever been benefited through war. Okay, that is why there's a saying like this: you can build the destructed buildings. When it comes to wars, buildings are being destroyed. You can build them, you can rebuild them. Okay, you can build the friendship between two nations after some times. The people who became angry will be friends again. But there's one thing that you cannot do, and that is you cannot give life to the dead people who died from the war again. You will never be able to give the life back to them. Okay, that is why war is not a good thing for any country. War is not a good thing for this humanity. Okay, somehow, if we need to stop the war, we need to forgive, we need to let go, even though it is difficult, even though it is hard. I know forgiving is not easy. It is really, really difficult. But if we need to stop the war, if we need to stop the anger, and if we need everyone to be happy, we have to let go. So remember, you will never be able to remove hate or remove anger through anger. By non-anger itself, you can remove the anger and you can be happy. Keep that in your mind. Namo Buddhaya.